Society has always been ruthlessly utilitarian. Most people judge a person's entire worth based solely on their current job, clothing brand, and superficial social status. They label service industry workers as lowly, ordinary office workers as mediocre, and only praise the wealthy and high-ranking elites as successful. This distorted value system makes countless people snobbish and arrogant, willing to fawn on the powerful and bully the weak, and taking pleasure in mocking those who work honest, humble jobs to feed their empty vanity. Glory Grand International Hotel is the undisputed crown jewel of Yinqing's high-end hospitality industry. It is a global 5-star luxury hotel chain brand, with a 58-story flagship building located in the absolute core of Yinqing's central business district. The hotel integrates presidential suites, international banquet halls, high-end Western restaurants, sky bars, business conference centers, and luxury spa clubs. It has the highest star rating, the strictest customer threshold, and the most luxurious service standards in the entire province. For ordinary citizens and college students in Yunqing, Glory Grand Hotel is an unattainable luxury landmark. Ordinary people can barely afford a simple meal in its lobby restaurant, let alone stay in its presidential suite or hold a private banquet here. Only top billionaires, government leaders, international celebrities, and senior corporate executives are qualified to enjoy the hotel's supreme customized services. In everyone's cognition, the owner of Glory Grand Hotel is a reclusive cross-border business giant with terrifying financial power and supreme social status, a figure that ordinary people can never contact or offend in a lifetime. No one in the entire city knows that this towering 5-star flagship hotel, plus 17 chain 5-star hotels across the country, all hotel properties, land rights, operating rights, brand patents, and all supporting commercial facilities, are my 100% exclusive private assets. I am the sole founder and absolute controlling owner of the entire Glory Grand Hotel chain, controlling the top hospitality business empire in the southern region. My name is Li Yi. I am a sophomore at Yunqing University 3 years ago. I used my accurate global economic trend prediction and cross-border capital operation to complete my first asset explosion. After that, I quietly acquired the Glory Grand Hotel brand and all physical assets during the industry crisis, building a huge high-end hotel empire silently behind the scenes. My personal net assets have long broken through billions of dollars, far surpassing all local wealthy families and corporate groups in Yunqing. Every year, the passive income from my hotel chain's room revenue, banquet fees, brand franchise fees, and high-end service profits is enough to rank me among the top elite billionaires in the country. All general managers, hotel managers, department directors, and thousands of service employees in every Glory Grand Hotel across the country work for me. Despite holding such a terrifying commercial empire, I have never had any desire to show off my status. After witnessing countless snobbish guests who humiliate service staff, arrogant wealthy people who bully ordinary workers, and superficial elites who judge others by occupation and status, I choose to hide my identity completely. I abandon all luxury privileges and live an extremely low-key, ordinary campus life. In order to thoroughly experience the worldly warmth and coldness and witness the true face of snobbish human nature, I took the initiative to apply for a part-time job as a bellboy at the flagship Glory Grand Hotel in my spare time. My daily job is to carry luggage for guests, guide parking, sort hotel supplies, and complete basic guest reception work with an hourly salary of only $12. This ordinary service part-time job has become the biggest laughingstock of my classmates, roommates, and even some teachers. Everyone thinks that my family is poor, that I have no financial support, and that I can only rely on this humble service job to earn tuition and living expenses. They take every opportunity to mock my job, belittle my future, and trample on my dignity to highlight their so-called superior family backgrounds and brighter futures. Among all the mocking people, my roommate Zhao Hao is the most rampant and vicious. Zhao Hao's family runs a small local building materials company with an annual profit of less than $2 million. In the real wealthy circle, his family's assets are not even worth mentioning, but in the student circle, he is used to being flattered and respected. Zhao Hao always shows off his new luxury sneakers, brand-name jackets, and limited edition electronic devices in the dormitory. He often mocks me for being poor and lowly, saying that my bellboy job is the most useless and shameful occupation in society. He repeatedly boasted that after graduation, he would enter a high-end enterprise to become an elite white-collar worker, living a decent life that I could never touch in my entire life. I have been tolerating his arrogance and ignorance again and again, too lazy to argue with a superficial child who only knows how to show off his family's trivial assets. But my tolerance was regarded as cowardice, my low profile was regarded as incompetence, and my honest labor was regarded as a laughingstock. The class graduation preview dinner held at the Glory Grand Hotel's top banquet hall completely detonated all accumulated grievances. Zhao Hao led the whole class to humiliate me in public, mocked my bellboy identity wantonly, and even forced me to kneel down and serve him to prove my sincerity. He never dreamed that the humble bellboy he despised crazily was the supreme boss who owned the entire hotel chain. #Chapter 1 Stacked Humiliation, Public Ridicule at the 5-star Banquet. The end-of-semester elite dinner organized by our college is the most grand class gathering of the year. The school specially booked the Supreme VIP banquet hall on the 55th floor of Glory Grand Hotel, a top-level venue that is only open to billionaires and senior government leaders all year round. The single booking fee for this banquet hall exceeds $50,000, which is an astronomical figure for ordinary college students. All students in the class dressed up elaborately for this dinner. Male students wore custom casual suits and brand-name leather shoes, while female students wore delicate dresses and luxury cosmetics. Everyone tried their best to package themselves as elite talents, eager to show off their family conditions and gain the admiration and flattery of their classmates. Zhao Hao was the most eye-catching person in the whole class. He drove his family's entry-level luxury car to the hotel entrance, wore a full set of designer brand clothing, and deliberately showed off his limited edition luxury watch worth tens of thousands of dollars in front of everyone. He was surrounded by a group of flattering classmates, becoming the center of the entire dinner party. In contrast, I was extremely plain. I wore the ordinary white short sleeve and black trousers that I usually wear in class, with a pair of cheap canvas shoes worth less than $20. After finishing my morning bellboy shift at the hotel, I changed my work uniform and came to the dinner directly, without any deliberate dressing up. As soon as I walked into the luxurious 55th floor banquet hall, countless mocking and disdainful eyes instantly locked on me. The noisy and cheerful atmosphere of the scene paused for a second, and all the students began to whisper and point at me, their eyes full of undisguised contempt. Look at Li Yi. He's wearing such shabby clothes to a 5-star hotel dinner. He's simply ruining the atmosphere of the elite gathering. No way, after all, he's just a hotel bellboy who carries luggage for others. A poor part-timer can't afford brand-name clothes, right? It's so embarrassing for him to be in the same class with us. We are all future social elites, but he can only do the lowest service work. All kinds of whispered ridicule spread in the banquet hall, like sharp needles piercing my ears. I kept a calm face and planned to sit quietly in the corner to finish the dinner, not wanting to argue with these superficial classmates. But my forbearance only made Zhao Hao more arrogant. He walked over with a sneer, stood in front of me condescendingly, raised his chin high, and looked down at me with extremely disdainful eyes. Li Yi, do you know how embarrassing you are now? This is the top 5-star hotel banquet hall in Yunqing, a place where only social elites and wealthy people gather. Look at your shabby appearance. Do you have the face to sit here with us? I raised my eyes and looked at him indifferently. Every job that relies on honest labor is worthy of respect. There is no shame in being a bellboy. Respect? Haha. Zhao Hao burst into wild laughter, attracting the attention of the entire class. A lowly laborer who carries luggage, cleans tables, and serves guests also deserves respect? Li Yi, you are really good at comforting yourself. Let me tell you the truth. Service workers like you are the bottom of society. You spend your whole life running around serving others, and you can never get rid of your humble status. Look at me. After graduation, I will enter a high-end company to take a management position, earn high salaries, and mix in the elite circle. The gap between you and me is wider than the sky. A group of classmates around also echoed and laughed loudly, completely treating me as a clown for entertainment. A female classmate covered her mouth and laughed sarcastically. Li Yi, you are really unambitious. Why waste your time on this lowly part-time job? If I were you, I would be too ashamed to go out and meet people. Another male classmate joked, tonight we are eating in the top banquet hall of Glory Grand Hotel. Usually, people like Li Yi can only stand at the door to greet guests and carry luggage for us. Today, he is lucky enough to sit and eat with us. He should be grateful. These words made the mocking atmosphere in the scene more intense. Everyone took pleasure in belittling my occupation and trampling on my dignity. They completely ignored the fact that I was relying on my own hands to make money and blindly worshipped the so-called elite status and superficial wealth. Zhao Hao's vanity was greatly satisfied. He took a step forward, suddenly stretched out his hand and patted my shoulder heavily, his tone full of insult and charity. Since you are so poor and have no way out, I can give you a chance after we finish the dinner tonight. You can be my personal servant. I will pay you double your bellboy hourly salary, help me carry my bag, drive my car, and run errands for me every day. In this 5-star hotel where you work, you have to bow and serve every wealthy guest. Today, I will let you practice in advance. Kneel down and pour me a glass of wine now. Apologize for your lowly status, and I can forgive your embarrassment of breaking into the elite dinner. As soon as these words came out, the entire banquet hall fell into a noisy uproar. All classmates whistled and cheered, staring at me with teasing eyes, waiting for me to bow my head and surrender, waiting to see me kneel down and humiliate myself completely. Many students took out their mobile phones to record videos, ready to record my embarrassing moment and post it in the school forum, letting the whole school laugh at my incompetence and humbleness. Faced with the endless humiliation of the whole class and the deliberate insult of Zhao Hao, the last trace of patience in my heart completely disappeared. I have always kept a low profile, adhered to my heart, and disdained to compete with these superficial people for vanity. I worked diligently as a bellboy just to experience life, not to make money. But they took my humility for cowardice, my labor for shame, and my low profile for incompetence. They indulged in trivial vanity and arbitrarily trampled on others' dignity, not knowing how ridiculous and ignorant they were. They were proud of eating in my hotel's banquet hall, mocking me for working in my own hotel. They enjoyed the supreme service of my hotel, but humiliated the owner of the hotel as a lowly servant. Since they are so obsessed with status and vanity, so good at judging people by occupation and appearance, I will completely crush their false superiority with absolute strength today, let them see what real status and strength are, and make them pay a heavy price for their snobbery and insult. Hashtag Chapter 2 Explosive Reversal. The humble bellboy is the hotel's supreme owner. The gentle and calm look on my face faded in an instant, and a powerful and domineering aura suddenly swept the entire 55th floor luxury banquet hall. The noisy cheers, mocking laughter, and noisy discussions of the entire class disappeared in an instant. A terrifying sense of oppression enveloped everyone present, making all the students hold their breath involuntarily, their bodies stiff and unable to move. The entire luxurious banquet hall fell into dead silence in a second. The playful smiles on all the students' faces froze rigidly, and the mobile phones that were raised to record videos stayed in the air, frozen in place. Zhao Hao's arrogant expression also completely solidified. He stared at me blankly, feeling the unprecedented powerful aura emanating from my body, and a strong sense of panic surged wildly in his heart. He forced himself to calm down and shouted stubbornly, "What's wrong with you? Are you angry after being exposed? A lowly bellboy who is inferior to others also dares to show me a cold face. I tell you, in this 5-star hotel, every guest is your superior. You have to bow and obey when we talk to you." I slowly stood up from my seat, my tall and straight figure exuding unparalleled dignity. And my cold eyes swept over every student present one by one, and finally fixed on the pale-faced Zhao Hao. My deep and powerful voice resounded clearly throughout the entire silent banquet hall. You think working as a hotel bellboy is humble? You think relying on your parents' trivial family assets to show off is superior? You think eating a meal in my hotel is enough for you to bully others wantonly? Zhao Hao was stunned for a moment, then burst into disdainful laughter. Your hotel? Li Yi, are you stupid from poverty? This is the Top Glory Grand International Hotel, the most luxurious 5-star hotel in Yunqing. You deserve to own it. You can only carry luggage for the guests here. The surrounding classmates also shook their heads and laughed mockingly, thinking that I was talking crazy words to save face after being humiliated. He's really shameless. He can't even afford a meal here, and he dares to say the hotel is his. Poor people really have strange self-esteem. They start bragging when they can't argue. Just as the ridicule was about to break out again, the elevator door at the end of the banquet hall slowly opened. A row of black high-end business cars stopped outside the hotel door, and a group of senior management personnel in neat custom suits walked in quickly and respectfully. Walking at the front was Wang Jinghua, the general manager of Yunqing Glory Grand Flagship Hotel, the highest-ranking executive in charge of all daily operations, venue management, guest reception, and staff scheduling of the entire flagship hotel. He is a top industry elite with more than 20 years of high-end hotel management experience. Usually, even municipal government leaders and billionaire entrepreneurs need to take the initiative to greet and flatter him when they meet him. Behind him were the hotel's executive deputy general manager, banquet department director, guest service department supervisor, security department chief, and a full set of senior management teams. Such a luxurious top management lineup has never appeared together in any private banquet of the hotel, even for billionaire guests. All the students in the banquet hall were instantly shocked. Their eyes were wide open, staring at the imposing group of senior executives in disbelief, completely unable to understand why the hotel's top management team would suddenly rush over during their class dinner. Before anyone could recover from the shock, General Manager Wang Jinghua led all the senior executives to walk straight towards me at the fastest speed. Under the gaze of all the petrified classmates, the usually aloof and prestigious General Manager bent his waist 90 degrees deeply, bowed respectfully, and shouted in a trembling and extremely reverent voice that echoed throughout the entire 55th floor. Respected Boss Lee, all senior management staff of Glory Grand International Hotel Flagship Store are here to greet you. We are extremely guilty for failing to maintain your private venue and allowing disrespectful insults to happen to you. Please forgive our serious dereliction of duty. Boom. The entire luxurious banquet hall completely exploded into earth-shaking uproar. All the students were completely petrified on the spot. Their brains went blank, their bodies stiffened, and they fell into unprecedented extreme shock and disbelief. The arrogant smile on Zhao Hao's face completely collapsed in an instant. His legs went weak, and he slumped heavily onto the luxurious carpet with a dull thud. Cold sweat instantly soaked through his brand-name suit, and his whole body trembled violently like a sieve. The luxury watch he was so proud of became extremely ridiculous and gaudy at this moment. All the classmates who had mocked and humiliated me just now opened their mouths wide, staring at the scene in front of them in a daze, completely unable to close their mouths. Their faces were full of horror, incredulity, and endless regret. The humble bellboy they laughed at, the poor classmate they despised, the lowly servant they bullied wantonly, was actually the supreme boss of Glory Grand International Hotel, the hidden tycoon who owned the entire five-star hotel chain. The top-level banquet hall where they were holding their elite dinner was my exclusive private venue. The luxurious five-star hotel they yearned for and admired was all my private property. The trivial family wealth and false elite status that Zhao Hao was proud of were not even worth a fraction of my assets. Wang Jingli stood up straight, took out the highest level national property ownership certificate, brand equity certificate, and hotel chain operation documents with both hands, and publicly announced to all the stunned classmates in a loud and solemn tone. I solemnly announce to all present today, Mr. Li Yi is the sole legal owner, absolute controlling shareholder, and founder of the entire Glory Grand five-star hotel chain. All 18 five-star hotels across the country, including this Yunqing flagship hotel, all hotel buildings, land property rights, venue facilities, brand patents, and all operating income belong 100% to Mr. Li Yi's personal exclusive assets. All management personnel, service staff, security teams, and technical employees of all chain hotels across the country work exclusively for Mr. Li Yi. Li's part-time job as a bellboy in this hotel is purely his personal life experience and private inspection behavior. He has no shortage of wealth and status, but simply chooses to keep a low profile and experience ordinary life. The 55th floor Supreme Banquet Hall where you are located is the highest level private exclusive venue of the hotel, reserved for Boss Li all year round. Ordinary billionaires are not qualified to book and enter it at all. Your dinner qualification today is only because Boss Li acquiesced to the school's application. These sonorous and powerful words were like continuous thunderclaps exploding over everyone's heads, completely shattering all their superficial cognition, snobbish prejudice, and false superiority. All the students finally woke up completely. The mediocre and poor student they ridiculed and bullied was the real top tycoon standing at the pinnacle of the national high-end hospitality industry. I stood calmly in the center of the banquet hall, my cold eyes slowly sweeping over the desperate Zhao Hao and all the ashamed classmates, and my powerful voice resounded throughout the entire silent venue. I work as a bellboy to experience life, not to make money. I wear ordinary clothes to keep a low profile, not because I am poor. I own 18 national five-star hotel chains, with total assets exceeding billions of dollars. I control the top hospitality industry resources in the country, and countless billionaires and elites take the initiative to flatter and please me every day. For me, this five-star hotel that you regard as a supreme elite venue is just one of my ordinary assets. The so-called elite status and wealthy life that you pursue crazily are just trivial vanities in my eyes. You, Zhao Hao, rely on your parents' trivial business assets to be arrogant and domineering, humiliate honest laborers, and trample on others' dignity. You judge a person's value by occupation and appearance, and your vision and pattern are extremely superficial and narrow. All of you who follow the trend of mocking and bullying others worship superficial vanity and despise ordinary labor. Don't you feel ridiculous? The labor you despise is the most noble thing in the world, and the vanity you pursue is the most illusory bubble. True success is not about showing off wealth and bullying the weak, but about having a broad mind and noble character. Those who bully the low-key and flatter the powerful will never step into the real elite circle. Every word was sonorous and powerful, hitting the hearts of all the students hard. All the classmates hung their heads deeply, their faces burning with extreme shame and regret, and no one dared to raise their heads to look at me again. Hashtag Chapter 30 Mercy Cleansing, complete collapse of snobbish vanity. After recovering from extreme shock and fear, Zhao Hao completely collapsed mentally. He knelt heavily on the luxurious carpet, kowtowed repeatedly in panic, tears and snot streaming down his face, and begged for mercy hoarsely with a trembling voice. Boss Li, I'm wrong. I'm blind and ignorant. I didn't know your noble identity. I dared to humiliate you recklessly and insult your labor. I'm guilty. Please forgive me. Don't punish my family's company. I beg you. Zhao Hao is scared out of his wits. His family's building materials company has a long-term cooperative supply business with all Glory Grand hotels. All hotel decoration materials, engineering materials, and daily operating materials are purchased from his family's company. Once I terminate the cooperation, his family's company will lose its largest core customer, and the capital chain will completely collapse instantly. All the other classmates who had echoed the ridicule, recorded videos to humiliate me, and laughed at my occupation also knelt down tremblingly one after another, their faces pale and full of fear. They kept kowtowing and apologizing, begging for my forgiveness, fearing that their impulsive snobbish behavior would ruin their future and family development. Li, we're sorry. We were superficial and snobbish. We shouldn't have mocked your job. Please forgive our ignorance. We know we're wrong. We will never judge others by appearance and occupation again. Please give us a chance to correct our mistakes. Looking at the group of kneeling and begging crowd, I had no slightest pity in my eyes. Snobbery and bullying have no excuse for forgiveness. My low-key kindness is my self-cultivation, never the capital for others to trample on my dignity arbitrarily. I turned my eyes to General Manager Wang Jingwa beside me and issued cold and decisive orders one by one without any hesitation. First, immediately terminate all long-term cooperative supply contracts with Xiao House Family Building Materials Company, permanently blacklist the enterprise and all its legal representatives and family members, prohibit all chain hotels under my group from having any business contact, cooperation, or transaction with them for life, completely cutting off their largest industrial customer. Second, notify all real estate developers, engineering groups, and hotel industry associations in the province to fully block Xiao House Family Enterprise, announce their bad behavior of insulting labor and disrespecting industry bosses, let them lose all industry cooperation resources, and force their company to go bankrupt within 5 days. Third, collect all video materials and photos taken by the students present today to humiliate me, prohibit any private dissemination, and order all participating students to post public apology statements on the school's official forum and grade group, deeply reflecting on their snobbish behavior of despising labor and bullying classmates. Fourth, permanently blacklist all students who took the initiative to mock, insult, and record videos to bully me today, prohibit them and their immediate family members from consuming, staying, or participating in any activities in all glory grand 5-star hotels across the country for life, completely cutting off their access to all high-end hospitality venues under my group. Fifth, launch the National Public Welfare Campaign themed Respect Labor, Reject Snobbery under the hotel group's brand. Take this incident as a typical warning case, advocate correct professional values, and severely crack down on the bad social atmosphere of judging people by occupation and wealth. Sixth, adjust the group's employee incentive mechanism, increase the salary and welfare of all frontline service staff, vigorously reward diligent and honest service employees, and let the whole society know that every ordinary laborer is worthy of supreme respect. Execute all orders immediately with zero delay. Yes, we will strictly implement all Boss Lee's instructions perfectly and ensure 100% execution. General Manager Wang Jingwa and all senior executives bowed respectfully and responded loudly in unison. With the rapid implementation of my orders, the fate of Zhao Hao and all snobbish classmates was completely doomed. Within 3 hours, Zhao Hao's family company received a formal termination letter from Glory Grand Hotel Group, and all cooperative projects were suspended immediately. The company's capital chain instantly collapsed, and a large number of orders were cancelled, resulting in huge losses. Within 1 day, the entire provincial construction and hotel industry knew about Xiao Hao's family's bad reputation. All cooperative partners took the initiative to terminate cooperation, and no enterprise was willing to have any business contact with them. His family's decades of hard-working foundation completely collapsed overnight. Within 5 days, Zhao Hao's family company was unable to support its operation due to the broken capital chain and massive losses, and was forced to declare bankruptcy and liquidate all assets. His family's luxury houses and cars were all auctioned off to repay debts, and his originally wealthy family fell into complete decline from prosperity. Zhao Hao changed from a glamorous rich second-generation elite student to a down-and-out poor man with a bankrupt family and ruined reputation. He became the biggest laughingstock of the whole school and the whole industry, and was completely excluded and despised by all social circles. All the snobbish classmates who mocked me posted sincere public apologies on the school forum, exposing their superficial and snobbish behavior. They were criticized and educated by the school, and their moral assessment scores were deducted. Their future internship and employment recommendations were completely affected. Moreover, all these students and their families were permanently blacklisted by the National Glory Grand Hotel chain. They could never step into any of my 5-star hotels for consumption, banquets, or accommodation in their lives, completely losing access to the country's top high-end hospitality resources. Every student deeply regretted their reckless and snobbish behavior, but there was no regret medicine in the world. They paid a heavy price for their momentary vanity and bullying, and this lesson will accompany them for the rest of their lives. Chapter 4 Final Ending. Labor is noble, low-key is supreme. After cleaning up all the farces, the noisy banquet hall returned to a solemn and quiet atmosphere. All the students stood respectfully on both sides, looking at me with endless awe and shame, completely abandoning their previous snobbish and arrogant attitude. I glanced indifferently at Zhao Hao, who was crying and kneeling on the ground, and the group of regretful classmates turned around calmly and walked out of the banquet hall. All the hotel's senior management staff lined up on both sides to salute and send me off respectfully, forming a supreme guard of honor exclusive only to me. Walking out of the luxurious 5-star hotel and standing under the bright night sky of the city, I felt extremely calm in my heart. I have always believed that occupation has no distinction between high and low, and labor is always noble. Whether it is a top billionaire or an ordinary service worker, everyone who relies on their own hands to work hard and live down to earth deserves equal respect. Those who rely on superficial wealth and status to bully others, despise ordinary labor, and trample on others' dignity are the real lowly and incompetent people. Their empty vanity and narrow vision limit their pattern, making them never able to touch the real height of life. Real wealth and status never need deliberate showing off. The real top powers in the world are always hidden in the ordinary crowd. We do not show off, not because we have no strength, but because we disdain to compete with trivial vanities. My low profile is my choice, and my tolerance is my kindness, but kindness has edges, and tolerance has boundaries. No one can trample on my dignity, insult my labor, or bully my humble low-key state without paying a painful price. Zhao Hao's mistake was that he was blinded by trivial vanity, took his family's accidental wealth as his own capital, and arbitrarily humiliated honest laborers. All his arrogance and superiority collapsed instantly in front of real strength. The mistake of those snobbish classmates is that they followed the trend of bad values, judged others by appearance and occupation, and treated humility as cowardice and labor as shame. They lost their most basic kindness and moral bottom line, and finally paid the price for their ignorance. In this materialistic society, there are countless hidden tycoons like me. We hide our wealth in ordinary life, experience the warmth and coldness of the world with a calm heart, and keep our original intention in the noisy vanity world. We never take the initiative to provoke others, but we will never allow others to bully us. Once our bottom line is touched, we will definitely crush all false superiority with absolute strength, let all snobbish people see the real gap, and let everyone understand the most simple truth of life. Never judge a person by appearance, never despise anyone's labor, and never bully a low-key, humble person. You never know what terrifying strength is hidden under the ordinary appearance of others.